Hello and welcome to Ferris Sports Update. I'm your host, Rob Bentley, and thanks for tuning in. On today's first show of the 2018-2019 athletic season, we'll check in with Bulldog football, volleyball, and women's soccer as they all get their season started. First, though, we'll start with Bulldog football and joined by assistant coach Tesfa Smith. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Yeah, great to be here. Always good to be here talking about football.
Obviously, this past Thursday night got off to a great start, 49-17 over East Stroudsburg, and nice to see the Bulldogs line up against somebody else after a grueling 3 weeks of camp.
Yeah, it was hot, and a lot of new faces, a lot of unknowns that you weren't going to find out until the game. It was very, refreshing to go out there and, play the way we knew we were capable of playing with all these new faces. So it was just fun and all a great experience for our guys. Great start to the season.
Certainly a lot of guys on both sides of the ball seeing their first experience here at the college level, at least at Ferris State.
Oh, man, defensively we lost 11 guys, 11 starters. So, for our guys is, were they going to be able to deal with, the pressure of, short-birding all the, the plays, and could they handle it? And I thought that they did a fantastic job, and, we were very stifling, defensively. So it was fun to see and great to see our guys go around and fly around and make some plays, and, we came out healthy, so great.
As we go to some of the highlights of the game, defense got the early stop, and then great job by the offense of putting some points on the board early in the first quarter.
Well, that's Coach Anise. We're going to go out there. We're going to have explosive offense, and that's exactly what we saw out there. So it's, for us, it's just, hey, let's make stops. Let's get the ball back to our offense, because if our offense is rolling, it's pretty hard to stop us. So we were able to get the ball back to our offense, and I want to say we had 7 possessions and 6 touchdowns. So, when we can go out there and execute like that offensively, it's just really reassuring for our defense to go out there and keep playing and getting the ball back to those guys.
J. Rue Campbell making his first start here and a big touchdown throw to Dion Earls for the first points.
Yeah, it was good to see, J. Rue and all the quarterbacks. I mean, it was a great race for that starting job. And, J. Rue got the nod, and he went out there and showed why he was the starter. But, kudos to those other guys, because when they went in, they went out there and made some plays too. So, we got I think 3 quarterbacks that I feel really good about at any given time can go out there. But J. Rue just brings, another dimension with his feet and his arm and his energy. So it was fun to see.
2 early touchdowns and then a big defensive play right there. Deshaun Thrower, national champion on the basketball floor, and continues to make some great results.
He's just, a magnet for, big plays, whether it's on the basketball court and the football field. And, he brings a dimension to our guys, to play at that level, and understand how to play at that level. So it's good for our guys on defense to, understand how you got to elevate your game in order to get to where we want to get to. So.
Obviously, offensively here, 650 yards in the game and able to spread the ball around to a number of different playmakers.
Yeah, great. Coach Denise does a great job of facilitating that offense, and not only that, but getting the ball around to, different guys, So it's, for us, it's a nightmare to try to defend. But again, it prepares us for when we play teams. We got to defend we're just prepared to defend all 5 skill on the field every time, so.
Obviously, a lot of points here put up by the offense, 42 points here in the first half, but play of the defense really shown as well, limited them to just under 300 yards for the night.
Yeah, and like I said before, Rob, we had a lot of uncertainties going into the game, especially my guys up front. We had 4 guys that played, some snaps for us, but not a lot. So, how are they going to handle, their snap count going up? And I thought they did a fantastic job of controlling the line of scrimmage, which is our ultimate goal going in every game, is control line of scrimmage and, be menacing when the quarterback wants to drop back and pass. And I thought we did that. I thought in our back 7, our guys were flying around and knocking balls down and defending passes. It's just the beginning. It's just a process. We're not quite there yet, but it's a good start to the season, and hopefully we can really, hit our groove here as the season goes on.
42-3 lead at halftime, and nice to get a lot of these guys some reps here in the second half.
Yeah, it was interesting. We made that point in our staff meeting on Monday that we played, I want to say, 63 different guys. When you can play 63 guys, that's always a good thing. That means that you're resting some of your other guys and you're building depth. How you build depth, get game experience, and we're able to get a lot of guys some significant game experience, and that's great as this 20-week process goes on. So.
49-17 the final score, and nice to start off the season with a big win in front of a great crowd at home.
Oh, it's awesome to see. I mean, a lot of energy when we came out there. It was a great day. Like you said, it was a great crowd, and our guys feed off of that. So it was good to see that, and like I said, we can keep building off of this and keep getting good crowds at our games, and be a season to remember in 2018.
Obviously a chance to get some more fans this week. A big game as you take on Findlay, a battle of top 20 ranked teams. What have you seen from the Oilers coming in?
Well, I'm just talking from speaking from past experiences. They're going to be a physical team. They return a 4-year starter quarterback who's got a lot of weapons he can throw to, and a very veteran offensive line. All 5 starters are back from last season. So, for us, it's going to be it's going to be a good test for us. How are we going to be able to deal with their physicality, and can we match their physicality? Can we control the line of scrimmage? And if we can do that up front, then we can, create a menacing pocket for that quarterback and hopefully force him to make some tough plays. And, the more we can get the ball back to our offense, the better position we're in to, come out on top.
How nice is it to have this second game at home as well, and starting off the year with 2 home games?
Well, we went there the last 2 seasons, so it's good for that we got them here. And if the energy is as good as it was this past week, it should be a fun day for the Bulldogs.
Obviously, you're the defensive line coach. A couple guys that you've coached in recent years making NFL 53-man rosters, Zach Sealer and Justin Zimmer. We're going to talk about what that means to have those guys among the NFL guys that have came from Ferris State.
Yeah, it's just when I'm going into my 5th season, so I walked in here, and I walked in a treasure trove of talent. And the culture that Coach Anise has built here has done a fantastic job of cultivating that talent. So for me, it's just, just watch them and, don't get in their way much and help them build their, talent. Those 2 guys were hard workers. They were self-motivated, so it's not much. Those guys lived in the weight room, and this is something they wanted, and so. When you've got that hard work and dedication, it's going to pay off, and very, very happy to see it. It's paid off for both of those guys, and all the guys, in fact, that are on NFL rosters. So it's like I said, it's a testament to Coach Anise's culture and a testament to the hard work that those guys have put in, when they come in here. So. Talk
about the position group you have right now this year. A couple guys returning, but obviously some new guys that saw some action this past week as well.
We got Austin Edwards. He saw some significant snaps last year. I think he's primed for a big year. He had a great offseason. He had a great spring, and he's in phenomenal shape. Other kids that we'll see a lot of action that played last year. Jameel Pollard. He's our interior defensive tackle. And Sam Girodat, he's another one. Both of those guys had excellent off seasons. And Austin Simpson's another kid that's saw some snaps, significant snaps last year. So those 4 guys are the key to our guys. Their snap counts are going to go up, but we believe that they can be our anchor to that defensive line. And then we see some new faces. Our Parker Underwood saw some first-time action and did a fantastic job Thursday. Trevor Tang is another kid that saw some action, did a fantastic job. And then some other guys, Greg Leatherwood, was able to get in some good time. Dan Perry was able to get in and get some good snaps. Curtis Preston was another kid. So we were able to play 10 guys. Jordan Jones was another kid that came in. So if we can, play those guys consistently and, build that depth and their confidence as the season goes on, we'll be a really good, formidable defensive line.
Coach, congratulations again on the win, and best of luck here as you host Findlay Saturday night, 7 o'clock at Top Taggart Field.
Thanks, Rob.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.
Hands-on learning. Small class sizes. Experienced faculty. Access to equipment. Television and digital media production. Media creators of tomorrow.
And of course, our delicious, authentic, traditional
Man, I want Mancino's.
Try our new flatbread pizza with a refreshing cold.
Silly dog. We don't need to call. We can order Mancino's online now.
Don't forget, Mancino's. Order your Mancino's online today.
At Ferris State University, be a provider. Be an investigator. What do you want to be? Be a Bulldog! Visit ferris.edu today.
Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog soccer. With us, head coach Andy McCaslin. And coach, first of all, welcome to the show for the first time this year.
Appreciate you having me back.
Obviously, you got your season started this past weekend. Before we get to some of the game results, how nice was it to play the new Bulldog soccer field?
Yeah, it's been great. You know, the facility is awesome. It's a young field, but at the same time, we're acclimating well. The grounds crew has done a great job of getting it ready to go. We're just pumped to have our own place that we can call ours. The surface is unbelievable. We're excited.
Obviously, two big regional matchups this past weekend against Missouri St. Louis and Bellarmine, and two kind of different ball games between the two matches.
Yeah, you know, Friday was with Missouri St. Louis. We knew they were going to be good. We knew that they were going to be, you know, a team that would try to get the ball forward as quickly as they could and kind of clean things up. And they caught us sleeping a little bit on the first goal, but you know, we weren't able to get the result that we wanted on Friday, but we bounced back really well on Sunday and played a really good Bellarmine team, and were able to get on the right side of that one.
As we go to the results, we'll start first with the highlights from Friday's match, and took on Missouri St. Louis, and you had some opportunities, a big shot advantage in the contest.
We did, and that's, you know, it's great when you can put 15 shots on goal in a game, you know, and we had some really good looks. A bit disappointed though that we were only able to put the ball away one time. You know, at the end of the day though, you know, we're not going to be any worse for wear from one game. They caught us one shot, one goal. But our kids bounced back, and we got the equalizer, which was good. You know, toward the end of the game, in overtime we pushed forward and got caught on a counter, and that was the result. So you know, things that we can take from it, some things that we looked at in video today, and can really look to improve as we get to next weekend.
Obviously, here first regular season contest and first really official games for a number of your younger kids.
Yeah, you know, we've had a large group of those younger players step through, and Pia here did a good job of getting on the end of this one for the equalizer. But you know, they've stepped in and done a really good job. They've figured out our system a little bit. They've figured out what we demand of them, and the results have shown for them. So we're excited with their progress. They're by no means finished products, and they're just adding well with the returning group that we've got.
Obviously, you get the equalizer in the second half in the 52nd minute, but this was one that went beyond the distance, went to double overtime, and an exciting game.
It was an exciting game. You know, we had plenty of chances to put it away in regulation. Unfortunately, we didn't, and that's sometimes the way it is in our game. It's hard to score goals. But at the same time, you know, a team, maybe not on the first weekend, puts a couple more of those away. And but overall, you know, the game was what it was, and it was a good start to the season for us in terms of seeing a little bit more of who we are as a group. And you know, now we'll look forward to adding to it come this weekend. But we had to bounce back on Sunday. Played a really good Bellarmine team, a team that took their first game to the wire, and very even matchup on Sunday.
As we go to Sunday's highlights, what was the point of talking to the players and trying to get them to bounce back after a tough defeat like that?
Yeah, tough losses, it requires you to really put that behind you as quickly as you can. You can be upset, you can be angry, but you've got to get over it. And we didn't start the game the way we wanted to. We gave up this one like 3 or 4 minutes into the game, and you had that feeling of, uh-oh, here we go again. But right away, you know, we were able to get that goal back, and Gracie scored a good one here. And Carly scores a typical Carly Dubert goal, kind of gritty, fired up, and gets to the ground and hops up and pulls it away. So, you know, it was good for us to then go ahead and pull that goal back and take the lead. And now we've got to figure these parts out, where we've got to tackle a little harder and defend a little better as a group, both individually and as a group. But you know, we gave up the equalizer, but in that second half we came back and found the winner. So it was a really good day for us.
Obviously, this one a little more even in terms of the total shots, but as you mentioned, you get the big one that you needed here in the second half in the 69th minute.
Yeah, great touch there by Pia, great service by Maddie, good build-up before that. The highlights missed it a little bit, but great build, good attacking of the space, and then, you know, we've got 20 minutes to see the game out, and the kids did a really good job of figuring out how to see the game out on Sunday. So that's a little bit of what you see or what you get from a more mature team, and you know, we're building a lot from last year with a lot of the same personnel. So it's a good step for us. And Bellarmine, they're going to do some really good things in the GLVC, and it's a good win for us for the region.
I was going to ask you how important a match like that was to beat a team like that that's been to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, so last year they were in, perennially they're in, so it's one of those that you want to go and get. You know, we start our year with 5 GLVC teams, and the GLVC has been perennially one of the quote-unquote better leagues in our region, so we want to make sure that we're taking on the toughest teams we can, and it's really important to get those results when we're talking about postseason runs and all that.
This week you hit the road, but you play a couple more GLVC teams, as you mentioned, Indianapolis and Quincy, coming off right at the bat this weekend. What do you know about these two programs?
Yeah, we know they're both well coached. They both are, you know, Indy's undefeated, Quincy's 1-1. They took a loss to a GLIAC team, so we're expecting a good fight for, you know, 180 minutes down at Indianapolis.
Obviously, you debuted your new field this past weekend, but a lot of road action coming up here over the next few weeks.
Yeah.
What does it take to get some good results here on the road?
So now it comes down to a little bit of grit, you know. So the way the scheduling was this fall, we weren't able to get as many home games in this kind of period that we wanted to, but we're okay with it. You know, when we get down to the end of the season, we're going to be playing games on the road, hopefully in the GLIAC and national tournament. So you're going to have to go on the road, and this is a good test for that.
Talk about the mix you have with your team. Obviously, some veteran experience. You mentioned Carly Dubert, but some young kids that certainly are growing up in the program very quickly as well.
For sure. You know, Carly's done a great job of being a leader as a senior, and Erica's done a great job as another captain for us. And you know, that group of seniors has been with us, and they know our program, they know what we're about, and they know our standards. So as we went through preseason, as we went away to Eagle Village, they really were helping get us on the right track and show the importance of these early weekend games and what it means to be a Ferris State soccer player. So we're happy with those older players. We're going to be sad to see them go at the end of the year, but we really appreciated having them with us. But you know, that's the reality of our business, is that younger ones come in when older ones take off. So those younger ones are stepping in, and they know the standards that we have set, and that's kind of been passed down from the coaching staff and the older players. So you know, we're excited with how they're developing and adding themselves in.
Well, Coach, congratulations again on the win on Sunday, and best of luck as you travel down to Indianapolis this weekend.
Appreciate it, Rob. Thanks.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.
Cuts back to the right side, breaks a tackle, touchdown! Rounding the diagonal, Mackin shoots and scores! Corey Mackin off the rebound! Run to Williams, back to Cusingberry, three-pointer up and good! GLIAC tournament champion. Ferris State with a huge win!
Come rise with us. For more information, visit ferrisstatebulldogs.com.
At Ferris State University, we're more than our student-to-faculty ratio.
More than our variety of programs, our internship rate,
or our number of student organizations.
Here, you're never just a number.
You can be yourself and be focused on your goals.
Be inspired every day and be ready for tomorrow.
Be a Bulldog. Go to ferris.edu.
Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to talk Bulldog volleyball, and with us, head coach Tia Branda Wilhelm. Coach, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having us here.
Obviously, your season well underway. A couple
yeah.
big weekends already of volleyball action against some very good competition.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're 8 matches in already. We've played 6 teams that are in that national ranking, getting votes kind of area, so like top 30-ish in the country, and yeah, it's been quite a schedule already.
Obviously, you started off your season late August at home, the annual Ferris State Invitational, and 10 teams taking part in that event, and we were able to go 4-0. Just talk about that weekend as a whole. You
know, it was a great weekend. There was some really good volleyball, both courts. We had, 10 teams is a couple more than we usually have, but it was just really nice to have such a quality of teams that we had, and pretty good diversity of teams too. So, it was just really neat to have that experience. And obviously, we were super excited to play well in front of our home crowd, and to start off the season. That was a big focus for us to start off strong, and we certainly did that.
Obviously, you mentioned some of those teams receiving votes or in the national rankings. Winona State, you were able to beat them. That was a nationally ranked team, and obviously the #1 team. You took out Concordia St. Paul, but big regional win as well, as we see the highlights against Hillsdale here.
Yeah, all of those, all 4 teams that we played, Upper Iowa, Concordia St. Paul, Winona, and Hillsdale, are all in that area of getting votes or in the national rankings. So they're all really strong teams, and it was. It was all 4 of them count as regional opponents, even though only Hillsdale's actually in our region. So we're pretty excited to get those wins and to get those quality of teams on our strength of schedule for sure.
Obviously, one of your key returning players, Allison Capel, the GLIAC Player of the Year last year, back for you, and named the National Player of the Week after that opening weekend.
Yeah, she did really well out of the gate. She really did. She's worked really hard in the spring to grow her game a little bit, and she's certainly not a kid that rests on, being Player of the Year as a sophomore is a pretty big deal, and that's not at all a thing. Like, she just works so hard every single day to get better, and she's always trying to improve her game and to find the little areas that she can be better.
Obviously, a good mix of returning talent, but some young kids that saw their first action there in front of the home fans.
Yeah, we have 4 new kids this year, 3 freshmen and transfer, and yeah, the 3 freshmen have all played and gotten in the game and had some pretty good moments, and yeah, doing quite well.
Obviously, after that opening weekend, you hit the road, a long trip to Florida, and took on some strong competition here this past weekend.
Yeah, and we didn't do great. It wasn't a good weekend for us, that's for sure. I think that a number of things happened, but we definitely we lost a couple matches, but even more so, we just didn't play well in a couple of the matches, so it was a little disappointing to have that experience.
How much of a learning experience will that be for your kids here, 2 kind of different weekends in terms of the results?
Yeah, November, I'll let you know. Hopefully it's a huge learning experience for us. Hopefully it's an opportunity for us to, to really see what we need to get better at. We're certainly more focused in practice after a 1-3 weekend than we were with a 4-0 weekend. So hopefully it ends up being a really good thing for us.
Obviously, those results you had over the past couple weekends, some big matches that prepare you for the start of conference play, which starts this week.
Already, I know.
Taking on Wisconsin Parkside, Purdue Northwest. Just talk about this week and these opponents.
Yeah, these are 2 opponents that are really scary. I mean, they both have a bunch of players back from last year, and we don't know a lot about them. We've only played Purdue Northwest the 1 time last year, and it was the first match of the season. And we have not played Wisconsin Parkside in conference play ever because they're new, and we've only played them a few times over the past 10 years. So we don't really know the programs, either one of them, at all. So it's a little scary for us going in. We just don't really know as much what to expect.
Obviously, coming into the GLIAC schedule and the GLIAC race, after you've seen some of these early season results, some GLIAC teams that have done very well here early on.
For sure, yeah. We've probably got about 6-7 teams in the GLIAC that really have started off well in the non-conference part and have won some really huge games. So it's going to be quite an exciting race. Stepping
up into conference play, does this mean a little bit more in terms of some of the matches and the results you hope to have?
I think hopefully every time we play it means a lot to the players, but I think as a team, we understand the level of play that we have to play in the GLIAC and the consistency that you have to do every night, and so and we know how good the GLIAC is and how many teams have their whole roster back or everybody but one player. So we know that we really have to get focused and ready to go for every single GLIAC match that we play.
How nice is it to be able to start your conference season here at home in front of the home fans where you've drawn so well?
Yeah. Anytime we can play at home, we're excited. You know, we have such a great fan base, and you know, people from the community, people from campus, faculty, staff, student athletes. It's just a great fan base. So anytime we can play at home for our fans, we are excited to do that for sure.
What will be some keys for your team, hopefully, to get off to a great start here in the conference with a couple wins this weekend?
Well, I think that, you know, we have to really be on the video and make sure that we get a good visual of the teams that we're playing. I think that's going to be the biggest part. And then both of these teams are pretty persistent teams, high energy teams. So we're going to have to, you know, really be able to weather the storms of some really, you know, 5-6 great rallies or swings in a row, and just be able to weather that storm as we play in the match.
Obviously, getting off to a big start in the conference goes a long way towards some of your regional implications, and a challenging region again here this season.
Yeah, the region is going to be really, really good. I think we'll probably be, you know, I would say right now it looks like 12 to 14 teams deep, where, you know, any of those teams could make it into the top 8, which is, it's really deep for a region. So it's definitely going to be tough.
Obviously, some teams that you've played here already in the first couple weeks that are teams that certainly prepare you well for some of those big regional matches that you'll have throughout the year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've already played Hillsdale and Drury both in region, and you know, both of those are just great teams. So, and then in our conference play, we'll play, you know, there'll be a number of teams that will be in that mix of regional rankings. So it's going to be kind of a fight every night.
Obviously, a great nucleus coming back from last season. Talk about the kids you have coming back, and how much what they were able to achieve last season helped you coming into this year.
Yeah, I think, you know, we graduated 5 from last year, and that's, you know, it's a big loss for the team for sure. We have Allison on the outside and Courtney Brewer on the outside coming back. We have Kayla Rossman back as a DS, and Katie Plasick, who's been an outside or right side hitter for us, is now at the libero spot. So, and then Maeve Grimes in the right side or in the setting position. Those are all players that, you know, were out on the court quite a bit and are back for us this year. Michaela Carey is in the middle, has not much played until this point. You know, she's played a little bit on the right side, but very little in the middle. And she's, you know, she's really worked hard to get herself ready to be in the middle. And then the same with Katie O'Connell. She's playing a lot on the right side and has not played as much until this year. So it's kind of some new stuff out there.
Well, Coach, best of luck to the Bulldogs this weekend.
Thank you.
That'll do it for Ferris Sports Update. You can follow all the action at ferrisstatebulldogs.com. Have a great week.